Morning light crept into the ruin-choked streets of Thundertree as the party stirred from slumber. Sariel, Tavin, and Rowan awoke inside Redoth's modest cottage, a rare patch of relative safety in that haunted town. When they looked around, they noticed Aelwyn was missing. Worried but accustomed to their companion's habit of wandering off, they asked Redoth if she had seen her. The druid simply shrugged. She had assumed Aelwyn, also a druid, wished to commune with nature and would return in her own time. This did little to quell Tavin's annoyance. He was growing weary of allies disappearing without warning. Still, the group had more pressing concerns, so they ate the breakfast Redoth provided, sharing a few bites with the hobgoblins Tonka and Zog, while the Neverwinter soldiers, Captain Dane Harrowmark, Sergeant Aldrich Vane, and Corporal Gregor Dern, chose to eat the rations they'd brought. During the meal, Sariel approached Tonka and Zog with an unsettling proposition. Conjuring a small crackling lightning bolt in his hand near Tonka's head, he suggested they lend their aid against the young green dragon said to haunt Thundertree's central tower. Tonka, startled by the show of power, offered a revised deal. He and Zog would help with the dragon if, afterward, they would be released from their captivity. Sariel, Rowan, and Tavin agreed. In truth, none of them wanted forced allies who might turn traitor at the worst moment. With breakfast finished, they turned their focus to a plan for tackling the greatest threats in Thundertree. Sariel argued that they should first neutralize the dragon cultists, who had taken up residence in a cottage on the southeastern edge of town. If any confrontation arose with the dragon, these cultists could interfere or come to the beast's aid. Rowan and Tavin concurred that eliminating potential reinforcements was best. Sariel asked Redoth if she knew anything further about these cultists. She confirmed that 5 or more had moved in, occupying an abandoned house. Rowan wondered if attempts at diplomacy might succeed, but Redoth admitted that when she had tried speaking with them, they had curtly demanded she leave. Since they seemed unwelcoming and possibly dangerous, the party decided a stealthy approach was needed. Tavin offered to scout from the sky under cover of cloud. Redoth believed the cultists remained near that single cottage, so it shouldn't be hard to locate. Stepping outside, Tavin unfurled his wings and soared over Thundertree's ruined streets, searching for the described cottage. It didn't take long before he spied a small structure flanked by 2 figures standing guard. More intriguing was a lone individual in the nearby woods. On closer inspection, it was none other than Aelwyn, apparently observing the cultists from behind a tree. Surprised, Tavin circled down softly and confronted her. Though he demanded to know why she had left the group without a word, Aelwyn shrugged it off, saying she just needed a stroll at dawn. Deciding to postpone further argument, Tavin explained their plan to gather more intelligence on the cultists. Aelwyn suggested she transform into a rat to slip inside undetected, a better plan, they both agreed, than having Tavin, with his notable tiefling wings, try to lurk about. Moments later, Aelwyn vanished into rodent form. She scurried beneath the front door's gap, bypassing the 2 cultists outside. In the dark interior, she glimpsed a small antechamber before moving into the main room, where she found 4 more cultists. 1 slept in a tattered bed, 2 slumped at a wooden table, 1 clearly dozing, and a final cultist stacked wood into a fireplace. None noticed the little rat underfoot. Aelwyn also spotted a curious quarterstaff leaning against the far wall. Its surface adorned with green scales and topped by a green gemstone. The aura of magic seemed to ripple from it. Fearing she'd push her luck if she lingered, Aelwyn retreated back outside the way she had come, scrambled unseen by the posted guards, and returned to Tavin, resuming her elven form. They set off toward Redoth's cottage to relay what she had learned. On the way, Tavin recalled a peculiar sight. From the air, he had noticed something white and translucent draped across another building. Intrigued, he wanted a closer look. Aelwyn agreed to watch from a safe distance while he investigated. Creeping through a patch of overgrown thickets, Tavin slipped and fell onto what he assumed was a thick branch. But the branch opened glowing green eyes. All around, twisted shrub-like creatures called twigblights awakened, their scrabbling limbs turning on him in an instant. Shaken, Tavin sprang into the sky, wings flapping, but not before he sustained several nasty cuts. Seeing him take flight, Aluin ran forward and unleashed a thunderwave spell, blasting most of the twig blights to pieces. The survivors scattered, and the pair hurried back to Redoth's. Outside the cottage, they found Sariel, Rowan and the Neverwinter soldiers, already on alert, drawn by the deafening boom of Aluin's magic. Tavin briefly explained what happened, and Redoth reminded them, once more, that Thundertree teemed with such threats. Giant spiders, undead lurking in old taverns, cultists, and a dragon. The entire area was riddled with danger. The group decided to finalize their plan for dealing with the cultists. After some debate, they settled on letting Rowan and Sariel attempt parley while everyone else hid in the woods. When Rowan and Sariel approached the pair of cultists outside the cottage, Rowan's draconic appearance had an immediate effect. The cultists were wide-eyed and awestruck to be in the presence of what they saw as a true draconic being. They practically ignored Sariel, who tried to gain their attention multiple times, and eventually one of them scurried inside to fetch their leader. Moments later, several more cultists emerged, led by Favrik, a man wearing fancy robes and carrying a staff with scaly green ornamentation, exactly as Aluin had described. Rowan asked Favrik what they hoped to accomplish in Thundertree. Favrik proudly announced they were here to commune with and serve Venom Fang, a young green dragon dwelling in the main tower. Favrik invited Rowan to join them in an audience with the dragon, presumably hoping Rowan's draconic heritage would grant them favor. Sariel interjected, raising doubts about the cult's sincerity. Growing skeptical, Favrik demanded to know Sariel's role. Sariel quickly lied, pretending to be Rowan's minion, but Favrik noticed symbols of Saloon on Sariel's vestments and deduced it was a falsehood. Tension peaked. Sensing trouble, Rowan prepared to breathe fire. As soon as the cultists recognized the rising flames in his throat, they dove aside, but Rowan's blast still scorched a pair of them and wounded Favrik. The rest of the party leapt from hiding. Favrik slashed at Rowan with a dagger, but missed. Within moments, the cultists were defeated or fled, leaving Favrik and a few others dead on the grass. Buoyed by this victory, the group turned their gaze to the tower, bracing to confront Venom Fang. The battered streets led them to a stone structure whose front entrance lay partially collapsed. Two giant spider corpses, apparently melted by acid, flanked the path, a grim sign of the dragon's might. Inside, they found a winding staircase leading upward. Creeping carefully, they climbed and emerged to see Venom Fang coiled around a hoard at the tower's peak. The dragon's bright green scales shimmered with toxic energy. Venom Fang stirred, opening a single eye on Rowan. Speaking in Draconic, the dragon hissed that it would not share its treasure, labeling Rowan a thief. Rowan challenged Venom Fang, but insisted they meant no theft, if the creature would leave Thundertree peacefully. Venom Fang snarled in derision, launching skyward on membranous wings. Determined to match it, Rowan quaffed a flying potion, looted from Favrik's body, and soared after. Tavin also took to the air, both racing to strike. However, Venom Fang spat a noxious jet of acid onto those still on the ground. Most dove behind rubble, but Zog wasn't fast enough. He dissolved on the spot with a terrible scream. A furious battle ensued. Arrows whistled from below. Rowan exchanged blows with the beast mid-air, while Tavin pummeled Venom Fang's wings. Finally, the dragon made a savage dive at Aluin, biting her and leaving her unconscious. Seizing the opening, Tavin crashed down with a decisive strike to Venom Fang's skull. Its body slammed into the stone floor, tail twitching before going still. Sariel rushed to heal Aluin, and the group stood, wounded and exhausted, yet victorious. The aftermath was bittersweet. Tonka demanded his freedom. With Zog gone, he intended to leave at once. The party saw no reason to hold him, and he vanished into the forest. Gathering a few valuable dragon scales, they also discovered a locked chest of coins and scrolls. But Redoth suspected the real hoard might remain hidden. Exploring the tower's lower level, both Sariel and Aluin felt a strange pull. Digging at the floor, they uncovered a large shard of obsidian. When Sariel touched it, he glimpsed Venom Fang's visage, rotting away into skeletal form. Aluin felt a sudden stab of pain, recalling the oak tree under which she once married Evan. Uneasy, Sariel wrapped the shard in burlap and tucked it safely away. Victorious, yet haunted by new mysteries, the group gathered their wounded. Their mission in Thunder Tree had spiraled into something far stranger than hunting a single dragon. Despite losing Zog and nearly losing others, they had removed a grave threat. But the Obsidian Shard's visions hinted at deeper dangers yet to be revealed.